Hello, hello. Once again, we are here at Truck Talk. This is your host, Tyrone Dawson, and you know we tell stories here at Truck Stop from the past, from the beginning, and how we got here. So, guys, you know the 90s is very, very my era. And this is why I give you stories from the 90s because I know a lot of young people really don't know about the 90s. But I want to give it to you guys raw and uncut. So, I am from a city called Washington, DC. A very great city, but you have to be on your P's and Q's at all times. So, let's go to 1994. 1994, my first time visiting an area called Georgetown. So you probably wonder, what is Georgetown? In Washington, D.C., Georgetown is like a small Paris. You got to have money. You got to have credentials to shop in this area. Once you shop in this area, and you go back to school with some clothes from Georgetown, people are looking at you like you got money. Oh, you rich. But no, a lot of people got a lot of class, a lot of style. They not rich. They just got class. And if you want to get classy, get your gaiters, get your custom made suits. You want to go up Georgetown for that situation. Georgetown is located in Washington, D.C. Northwest. Kim Kardashian has a store at this moment in 2025 in Georgetown. I think she sells clothes for women, like to make their body shape look a little better. But you gotta have some money to be able to shop up Georgetown. And I'm not talking about a few $100s. Because if you want to get fresh, if you want the sneakers, if you want to get the latest jeans, if you want to get the nice Sabiato slash Versace wear, you want to go up Georgetown because Georgetown is the place to be. So, once again, my first experience going to Georgetown. Georgetown was basically a landmark for all DC people to go to. And I went to this store called Nationals. Nationals was a jewelry store, a big old jewelry store that had small independent jewelers in there. So when you walk in there, all of the jewelers are trying to sell you their pieces, pendants, rings, chains, and they had the fake jewelry and they had the real jewelry. So uh for me, I went to Georgetown and my first experience was buying jewelry with a friend of mine that was a little older than me. So he went up there, he bought the jewelry, and it was a great experience. I remember he bought a link gold chain, the one Tupac had around his neck. This was like 1994. He bought this link chain and it had a pendant on it with his name. And I'm telling you, when he came back around the hood and went to school, he was like a celebrity. He paid about $900 for this gold chain. At the time, that was a lot of money for all of us. So I'm looking at him like, you got $900 to spend on some gold? That was my first experience in Washington, D.C., in Georgetown. All the celebrities that lives in Washington, D.C., all the famous people who lives in Washington, D.C., they shop up Georgetown. Georgetown is like our rodeo drive to California. So, that was my first experience going to Georgetown with a friend of mine. And I had to go back and tell everyone. So I went back to school, told all my buddies, hey man, I went to Georgetown with a friend of mine and he bought a gold chain. They like, stop lying, stop lying. So I go to Georgetown and I'm basically um, just starstruck because I'm seeing people that I never seen before in that area, and I was a little frightened. I was frightened by seeing other people that I wasn't used to. So the second time I went up Georgetown, I had won some money shooting dice. We used to shoot dice. I think I won like about $280, and I was pressed to go back up Georgetown. So what did I do? I go up Georgetown by myself, got on the subway. When I got on the subway, I just remember that feeling when my boy bought that gold chain for the first time. I'm saying to myself, I got to have that experience just by purchasing something. Have you ever heard of Versace? Versace wear. So it's a store called Sabiato in Georgetown. I went to Sabiato and I seen this T-shirt that was $190. What did I do, people? I bought that T-shirt for $190, and it's called Sabiato. If you don't know about Sabiato, just go Sabiato, Google Georgetown, Washington DC, and you will see their clothes that they sell. And in the 90s, those was the clothes to have. So I go back to school with my Sabiato on, and I'm just excited. I feel like I made it. It's real funny that expensive item that you purchase for $200-300 can make you feel like a rich person. Because when I went back to school, I felt like a rich person. I had the Sabiato. Do you know I wanted to wear that Sabiato shirt every day? I did not want to take that shirt off. And I had my mother told me to take that shirt off so I could wash it. So I took it off and she washed it. But guys, when she washed it, it was not the same. What do you do in situations when you got expensive items and you don't want to wash it? What do you do? So I didn't want to wash that shirt, but I think I wore it once, probably 3 times before she washed it. After she washed it, it was no more good. So let's get back to Washington, D.C. up Georgetown. So Mike Tyson used to go to Georgetown. Do you know Mike Tyson used to date women in Washington, D.C.? I used to see Mike Tyson a lot of times when he was the heavyweight champion. A little bit after he was the heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson stayed in Washington, D.C. He was dating a female in Kenilworth. That's a neighborhood over there by Paradise. He was dating a female, so he would always ride by with his window down and raising, shaking his hand like, what's up? Mike is the realest guy ever. Mike Tyson was in DC all the time. He was in DC more than a regular DC person. And you better not step to Mike. I seen Mike at a club one time after he bit Holyfield ear off. And let me tell you, when I say somebody get fresh, Mike Tyson put that gear on back in the 90s. Mike Tyson, once again, he headed up Georgetown. Got his Versace gear, Sabiato, and it was a club called DC Live. Mike Tyson was at DC Live with that Versace gear on. And when he walked in, it was like the sea just opened up for Mike. Everybody was looking like Mike Tyson in a hood club in Washington, D.C. Yes, Mike Tyson partied in D.C. all the time in the 90s. I used to see him like he was a regular person. You wouldn't believe he was everywhere on TV. Mike Tyson liked to shop in Georgetown. Mike Tyson liked women from neighborhoods the ghettos. Mike Tyson like being. Mike had money, but Mike never wanted to date those type of women. So let's get back to Georgetown. Sabiato Versace. If you wore Versace back in the 90s, you was considered the man. Those shirts was 190 and up, all the way up to like $600. So when you go down Georgetown and you purchase and you know local celebrities, local drug dealers went there, it just made you feel like you was part of the city. Guys, do you guys still feel like you part of the city? What gets DC youngins now? I'm an old head. They call me an old head. So I done been around, had my era time. I'm just reminiscing off the past of my great experience. So what do people do in this area to communicate? I know in Washington D.C. we have what you call go-go bands. A lot of go-go bands get together and they do the go-go music. That's one thing we love in our city is the go-go music. But other than that, do we have an art program? Do we have something like a trade school where we could get together and learn a trade like brick mason or electrician? Do they still have those type of classes in Washington D.C.? I don't know, guys. But those are the things we had when I was growing up. We had trade school, brick mason, electrician. We had summer jobs. You could get a summer job. And if you continue to work that summer job each year, every year, when you graduated out of high school, you could get a full-time job from those summer jobs. Do they still have those programs in other cities? Because in Washington, D.C., we do not have that. They need to bring those programs back in Washington, D.C. Because those summer job eras, you were able to meet people in different neighborhoods, different area codes. And once you realize everyone is the same. Everyone is the same, folks. So, yeah, I just want to know, do they still have programs like that in your city? If so, comment. I read comments. You know what I'm saying? Once again, here at the OG TYE Podcast, this is Truck Talk. And what we do is we basically talk about what can we do to make our community better, your community better, my community better. What can we do, folks? Here at Truck Talk, we just gather information to see exactly what can we do. But once again, I'm not going to hold you guys up. If you did not hear the beginning, I will upload this in about 20 minutes. So make sure you check it out. Washington, D.C., Georgetown, my first experience. If you ever come to Washington, D.C., ask, where is Georgetown? Kim Kardashian has a store right now up there. And you will have a great experience here at D.C. But guys, I'm not going to hold you up. Oh, also, the inauguration was yesterday. And guys, I know you all seen it on TV. I know you all seen it. But let me tell you about the outside part. So the inauguration had a no bag policy. You couldn't bring no bags in. Purses, fanny packs, backpacks, nothing. So if you went to this inauguration, you either had to throw your bag away, not away, but put it to the side, or you couldn't go in. A lot of people put their bags to the side, thinking when they come out, their bags, their purses, their fanny packs, whatever, will still be outside. But in Washington, D.C. right now, they are saying that a lot of people, purses, fanny packs, backpacks, were trashed. What do you guys think about that? Should they have trashed those people products? Because it's all over the news that people are mad. Their keys was in those bags. Their IDs. Because once they got to the door, they didn't know there was a no bag policy. So they had to put it to the side. But when it was over, everything was in the streets, they said. Homeless people were going through people's bags, taking nice purses. So guys, would you would have went to the inauguration if you had to throw your bag in the trash? I just want to speak just on some little stuff. I'm here from Washington DC, and we just talk about truck talk. So guys, thank you for listening. I'm Tyrone, your host, and once again here at Truck Talk. Until next time, we are out. And I just want to say, have a